I'm Jim Grote, and I was about 19 years old when I started Donato's. I learned so much in the early days of just how to do it. I mean, they didn't have any equipment, so we did everything by hand, baked pizzas, made the dough, then got into, when I was 15, they had me start managing the place and so on. And by the time I was 16, they asked me if I wanted to buy the place. Long story short, Dad said, yeah, this is a fad, Jim. You don't want to do this. You got to go to high school, finish high school, and go to college. They eventually sold it to some new owners, and they tried to do the same things, but they were kind of cutting costs and so on and so forth. And for me, it was just that I was really excited to get my own shop, and that's when Donato's came up. A guy named Don Potts. He bought his dough from a bakery and then put great toppings on it, and I was able to buy that store for $1,000. I said, Donato's, I asked the former owner where he came up with that, and he said that it's a derivative of a Latin word, dono donare, which means to give. And so he carried it out through all the conjunctions, and it was dono, donare, donavi, donatus. Turns out Donato's pizza means to give a good thing. So we opened and it took off. And we were just busy as can be, from the time we gave a quarter off opening day, and they were lined up down the street ready to buy their pizza for a quarter off. And soon the place became way too small, and there was a vacant lot across the street with a house on it. And so I used to go sit on the corner and just dream about a building over there where all the delivery guys were leaving the side entrance, and the customers were coming in, and they were leaving smiling, and they were all happy. 4 years later, we built a black brick building. So we were putting rolling dough, saucing and cheesing, but putting pepperoni on took, it seemed like forever. So I was waking up. It seemed like I would wake up at 3:30 in the morning, and I had all these ideas. I saw a picture of the Pep-O-Matic, and there it was actually running. And all you had to do is load it up with sticks and push it across a blade. And I said, I got to go buy one of those. Anyway, it was a dream, and there was none for sale. So then there happened to be a machine shop down the alley, just real close to us, and I talked to him about the idea. So he was a machinist, so they put it all together, and we would carry the machine into the back of the pizza shop, and I told everybody at Friday night, there'll be no problem. We got a pepperoni machine here. What was taking you 3 minutes before is going to take 7 seconds, and it would work for about 3 or 4 pizzas, and then the blade would break. And so I couldn't make it small enough for the stores, but the frozen pizza business just became popular, and a buyer from Kroger's came and had a frozen pizza when it was coming out. He had him look at the machine. He said, if you can do this automatically, you'll sell as many as you can make. And that was 50 years ago. The golden rule, I was just taught that it was actually love your neighbor as yourself. And having those values, I think, gave people, the associates that worked with us, a reason for being there. In other words, would you serve a pizza like this if it was you buying it? It was a great way to be. That was your authority in the stores. Like, this isn't a good pizza. I wouldn't want to eat that pizza. And if you don't want to eat the pizza, then you don't want to sell the pizza. Really, we just kind of settled on the golden rule. And I says, like treating people like I want to be treated. It says, it's dog eat dog out there, buddy. You get the other guy before he gets you. I start thinking about it, and I says, well, I'm not going to do business like that. If I can't keep my principles, then I'm going to go back to, take 401 accounting again. And so anyway, that's where it all started. I was in there to prove that you could keep your principles and make money too. The Greek word for the highest form of love is agape. So I put actually agape and capitalism together, and my businesses actually have been based on the power of love. Could capitalism be fueled by the power of love? And that's what everybody said. Those two things, love and capitalism, are oil and water, never happen. And so I saw two businesses, Donatus from the very beginning, governed by the power of love. Then you keep looking into it. I think it was Jimi Hendrix, when I read where he came up and said, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, we'll have peace. And I said, yeah, and abundance too. So that started to hit it, and then the word agape come in, agape capitalism. I look back at the 60 years of pizza, 50 years of manufacturing, and the amount of people that have been so dedicated to make this place what it is to last this long. And then not only my daughter, but my granddaughter and my grandson, the third generation, are coming in, and they didn't come in because they were related, they came in because of these principles. So that thinking, geez, this could go on for another 60 years, you know. And so I get a little choked up about that, because that living an extraordinary life is because of the extraordinary family and extraordinary people that made all this happen.